There is a fifth dimension.
A dimension of sound.
Damn it, Frank! We tell him to be quiet. I spilled my hot cup of Uranus again.
A dimension of sight.
Hey, Arch. I'm gonna sock you in the puss.
A dimension of mind.
Nan Adams, is that you?
Next stop, the Twilight Zone.
Yeah, all he needs to do is have the quack sound, and he would be the penguin.
Fucking
Top
hate-
hat.
And Burgess Meredith, love him, but he is the reason I hate the fucking penguin. I hate that version of the penguin.
Really?
Hate it. And that's whenever I think of the penguin, his version of the penguin is the one I think of. And I don't know why. I can't say it's something so grating about it. I fucking hate the penguin.
So we shouldn't go.
And I love Batman 65, but that fucking penguin, man, I hated him. Hated him. And it
Why do you hate him
resonated
so
through
much?
all other penguins.
God, why do you hate? It's
That
like
and
it's
Danny
like you
DeVito's
created your
penguin
own
was
devil scriptor or
disgusting.
something.
But he's Burgess Meredith. You know, the guy, the thing. You were
could've been
there.
Contender.
He got an Oscar nomination for whatever playing Rocky's trainer, didn't he?
Mickey.
Mickey. Hey,
I
Mickey,
don't
Oh,
like
yo,
Rocky, so I
Mickey,
don't
I'm
remember anybody. Anyways, how the hell are you guys? Guys, we're recording a week and a half before this episode airs. How about
we?
that?
Oh my God.
Really?
I haven't even finished recording I haven't even finished editing the 2.5
Oh,
hour
that's
podcast.
right, because they come
of
out
the
on
last
Wednesdays
episode.
now. That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Not really a
was
week and a
my
half.
decision.
It's like a week and a.
I mean, it's Monday. It comes out on the 27th, so it is technically a week and a half.
It's Monday. Gotta get down on Monday.
All I know
I
is
introduced my
I-
my 9-year-old daughter to that the other day.
Oh, God.
I don't know why. She was watching some like YouTube shit. So I was just like, I was like, that's like Rebecca Black. She's like, what? I was like, oh. It's Friday.
if
riding
it
in
were
the
Monday,
car.
ooh, just like Sunday. Ooh.
You know what? Make
Oh,
fun and say what you will about that girl. She did something.
She did.
Her mom didn't think she was going to do it for her birthday. That whole thing. If you look at that story, I know it has nothing to do with Twilight Zone, but if you look at that whole story about how that happened, it's kind of interesting. That girl was determined. Her mom was like, I guess if I do this.
yeah, her
for
mom paid a lot of money for it.
Yeah, she just took her to like the studio, like a local studio where they shot they had like a package where they like do a video and record a song for you. And I think they provided the beat or something like that. I don't know, but she took her as a birthday present and she was like, if I let her do this, maybe it'll get her out of her system and she'll let it go because she won't stop. Nope. It kind of backfired on mom there.
Yeah, but would you rather have that ambition and be laughed at by millions of people, or have no ambition and be not laughed at by millions of people?
I'm sure she made a healthy amount of money off that whole situation to where, all the laughing and ridiculing probably hit a little bit
Doxing.
softer.
How much net worth?
Probably hit a little softer.
He's worth $2 million. So there you go.
She's worth $2 million. How old is she now? She's like, what, 30?
26.
That's it? Holy shit.
Is she still
I figured-
singing?
She actually did
Yeah,
come
yeah,
out with
she's-
something a couple of years ago.
Yeah, she's definitely still singing. She's singing all the way to the bank.
Yeah. No, I think she is actually, because I remember she came out with a song and it was like kind of the polar opposite of Friday. It was quite dark.
Saturday.
Like not like gloomy emo, but just like it was a much darker tone. But then, Friday was so freaking sugar sweet.
Friday.
You get diabetes by just looking at it.
Well, good for her.
She's actually the newest member of Slipknot.
Oh gosh.
She's like number 9 Friday.
Good for her. Rebecca Black, you do you. I ain't hating.
You know who didn't make any money? Winters, because he lost his company. Oh, Burgess Meredith was born in Cleveland, Ohio. I feel
There you
bad
go.
for him.
Eh,
What
he
a
came
shitty
out
city.
okay.
I wasn't born in
Debatable.
Cleveland.
Ah,
He,
The land of
you know,
Cleve-
the two best things that came out of Cleveland: Burgess Meredith and Howard the Duck.
Howard the Duck.
Anyways, so yeah,
Nothing about
we're talking
flex.
about guys. We're halfway through season 4. Thank God. Triv said,
Wow.
"Thank God we're halfway through season 4."
You can shut your silly face.
I can't.
Yes.
I don't know how to do that.
don't
I
think
just know
season four's
Triv's
so bad.
extremely excited because she hates this season so much. She told me herself.
Yeah.
I'm still enjoying this season more than last season.
Yeah.
So there's all moving and hiatuses aside.
All right, right.
I'm
Well, I
enjoying
mean, we have I think this is a pretty banger of an episode. This is season 4, episode 9 called Printer's Devil, directed by Ralph Senensky, written by Charles Beaumont, based on his story. Stars, of course, Burgess Meredith, Robert Serling, Pat Crowley, and was it her name Harriet or is it Jackie?
Jackie.
Jackie. I
think.
thought it was Harriet for some
Jackie.
reason.
Nope.
Jackie. And Ray Teal.
I wish that I was Jackie's girl.
No,
Oh,
it's actually I wish I was Mr. Smith's girl driving
da,
down
da,
the
da,
road. But yeah, this is an episode, Triv, you've talked about for quite a while. I know you
I
really
did,
enjoyed
yeah.
this episode.
I do.
This
It's
is
probably
like yeah.
this is probably my favorite of season 4.
And why is that, Triv? Why do you like this episode so much? If it's the dick, I get it. If it's the headline stories, I don't get it. Tell me why, Triv. Tell me why.
I don't know. Just I'm a big fan of Burgess Meredith, and it was fun to see
Damn.
him go the route of kind of that swarmy, devilly type guy. I don't know. It just got a lot of interesting things, and it's fun to kind of see that kind of. And I know it's an old story, but like the selling of your soul and then overcoming the devil in the ways that he did.
He did
It's
it
just
so
a fun
good.
story.
He was so good at it.
Yeah, very much.
Yeah, I mean, this is what a couple years before Batman, so you can definitely see, as much as Jacob just hates penguins, apparently.
There's
This
that
is this is like you can tell that you can see the penguin in Burgess Meredith. Maybe this is the role that got him the penguin. I don't know.
I can't think because I mean the only thing that's really like obviously you've got kind of that villainous side to him, but I don't know that you would necessarily equate like his character here with the Penguin in that respect. It might have opened him up to go, hey, villain roles can be fun, but he's always seemed like a pretty versatile actor.
True. And I mean, this is the second episode that deals with Burgess Meredith in an episode about suicide, so or contemplating suicide. So there you go. Why do they have to keep using suicide in a Twilight Zone? It's just I
mean,
don't get
this
it.
feels this kind of goes that, and I know we talked about this previously, but it does kind of follow that It's a Wonderful Life, just the aspect of being tempted and all that kind of stuff. Like you're at the end of your rope, and I think that was just it's a way that they did it back then.
Jumping off bridges, being
Yes.
printer devils.
Yes.
Is that yeah?
Yes.
I'm gonna name my team Printers Devil.
I think you should.
Yeah. Let's name the podcast Printers Devil. How about that?
I don't think that makes sense for what we're talking about.
I mean, I've seen
Yeah, the
wackier
mystique.
names for I've seen wackier
But how does that
names.
relate to the Twilight Zone other than being like one name, 3/4 of the way through the series?
Because we're devilishly good, Triv. We're devilishly
Well, you guys
de-
are. I'm just here for the popcorn.
That's the point.
I thought you were
That's
here
it.
for the cigars and cigarettes.
Nope.
Eddie Valiant.
Hi, Annie. Bye, Annie.
Bye, Eddie. Hi, Eddie. Crashed into a wall. Anyways, Printer's Devil. Jacob, as I can tell, I'm assuming you like this episode. I'm assuming you enjoyed it. What did you think overall? Does it have enough dicks in it?
Definitely not enough dick. I did like this episode actually. I liked this episode quite a bit. I thought it was the story, and I don't think the story was really like mind-boggling. I think at least me, I more or less saw where it was gonna go and where it was going. I wasn't surprised by the story so much. Is Burgess Meredith. He made this episode. And I'm not saying that the episode would have been bad without him. I think it was a fun, interesting episode. It wasn't like really that deep or anything like that, but it was just fun. It was a good time. I was engaged the whole time. It was a very entertaining episode, but man, he absolutely made it even more entertaining. He took it from without him with somebody else just doing like your regular devil-esque character, like some we've got in the past. I think this episode would have just been kind of like not bad, but it just would have been like, yeah, it's fine. It's mid tier. Not to say that's bad, just middle of the road. I think with him though, and what he does with it, not to take away from everybody else because I think they did well too, but he really elevated it, and every time he was on screen, it was a good time, and that brought it up from mid tier to upper tier.
It's funny. Usually I complain about like the time length of an episode, and I don't know if you thought about this trip before my computer decided to stop watching
Flew by.
the episode. Yeah, it moves quick. It
Mhm.
feels like
It
it moves
does.
quick. I was shocked when I looked down and I'm like, oh, we're already 42 minutes into the episode. And then my computer's like, nope, you're not watching the rest of the episode. And I'm like, all right, cat, get out of my room. Computer, I'm going to throw you against the wall. And then
Yay.
we finally got to watch the rest of the episode. Jacob's like, why does it took you guys so long? And I'm like, I don't know. The devil made me do it,
Fuck me
that type of
into
thing.
it, and that was all she wrote.
I watched most
Yeah.
of it on the toilet. Multitasking.
Important.
Don't
yes.
act like I'm the only one who's done that.
No.
Hey, I watched the entire season of Mandalorian on the toilet. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to watch Mandalorian each week on the toilet. So disappear for like an
Should
hour.
have done like a review series about it.
Yeah, exactly.
Review on the
Nick
toilet.
on the toilet.
You
Yeah.
know,
And then one guy
Toilet
reviewed
Emporium.
food in
They'll
the
give me-
shower.
Yeah, exactly.
if it'll give me, let's say, if it give me thousands of views, I'll do it.
That's some
I'll
weird
go
shit.
from the shitter.
That's the
Literally.
weird shit that probably would, but you'd have to do it on TikTok
Yeah. The
or Instagram. It had to be a
Well,
short.
short format.
Was it like
yeah.
the guy who was like reviewing food in the shower?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They got like millions of like likes and stuff. What were we talking about? Oh yeah, my computer blew up. Yeah, my computer stopped working. I freaked the fuck out. And we finally watched the rest of this episode, and yeah, I am so very, very wrong about the fourth season. I'm sorry that Triv tried to talk
He
me
finally
into
admits
it
it.
being a terrible.
I know, right?
try- I'm
we need to clip that.
Now, every episode after this is going to be absolute dog shit.
There are some upcoming, but that's neither here nor there.
Like teetotal
I mean,
dog shit.
when you have
I mean,
somebody like Triv talking you into this being the worst season, I mean,
Ah,
you have to
fuck's sake.
believe it.
Yeah, totally.
I'm gonna have to call bullshit on that.
X to doubt.
Yeah, X to
Yeah,
doubt.
yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah, Bridger's Devil, halfway through the season, Burgess Meredith. I think that's all we have to talk about, guys. I think we're good. I think we'll rank this at number 111. How's that sound?
No.
Uh,
Jess Bell was in the 90s. This is going significantly higher.
it's definitely better than Jizzy Balls.
Well, yeah.
Oh, I thought we
yeah.
were ranking in order of the episode order. Like, we
Fucks.
just go. No,
Yeah. Look,
this is
our list
basically-
is so damn janky. You could probably put it at 111 and it would not be the weirdest thing done, but we are not ranking this at 111.
Yeah, our
We can move the
our
monsters
people
that
that
do
come
on
on.
Maple Street down to that.
I mean, it wouldn't be the worst thing that happened to me.
Ah, Jesus.
No, I'm kidding. So okay, so this episode is about a failing printing press, failing newspaper called the Courier. What is it called? The
Dansville Courier.
Dansburg Courier. And yeah, it's what happens with newspapers, actually, especially today, feels very prescient with the nature of online media now and everybody having to go online and newspapers failing and stuff like that. And this guy
Being first. It's all about being first.
Oh, it
and it was
massively
then
so.
too, apparently.
Oh yeah, it's never been any different. Look at they're yeah, I mean yellow journalism, all that kind of stuff. Like the more sensational the story, you can go back to William Randolph Hearst and further back than that, and it's
I
always
know.
been
I'm
that
just
way.
yeah, it's actually very realistic in the sense of like this is a newspaper that was very popular, and then the big dog came along and basically took over the was it the pen and basically became the alpha. And yeah, I'm watching this episode and I'm going, this poor guy, the printer's devil, the one that's currently working there, is like, I quit. I can't do this. I haven't been paid for 8 weeks. And damn it, Janet. She's like, you can't leave him. You got to be loyal to him. I'm like,
You piece of
bitch.
shit.
Yeah, bitch. You got to pay the motherfucker. I mean, come on.
I want to eat something other
it's
than
like-
Twizzlers and popcorn tonight, okay?
Yeah, exactly. I
Pay
don't want
me.
to eat the actual printing ink.
I do like Twizzlers and popcorn, though. It's my favorite
Yes,
movie
you do.
theater food.
That's right.
But I don't want to eat
I
that for
mean,
dinner every night.
How about like liver and onions or something? We'll go there.
Ew, not at
I'd
the
rather eat-
theater.
But no, I mean, I almost don't like this. Is it Jessica? Is her name Jacqueline?
Jackie.
Whatever.
Jackie.
In that
Jackie.
first part, yeah, she came across as kind of
Yeah,
Bitchy.
it just feels like this poor guy, this old man who's been working at this printing press or whatever, this courier for like a long time, is going to be is quitting because like he needs to get paid, he needs to have food. But she's like, no, you can't leave.
No.
Yeah, no.
And she was a little bit too much like, that's my man. How dare you disrespect my man? Mm-hmm.
He's like,
Mhm.
woman, I had to go. He's like, woman, I had to go to the strip club. God damn it, I need my monies. Is that what they did back in the day? They went to the strip club.
No, Under Cover of Darkness, yes. They were
Those
working
were like
quote late at the office.
in the back of bars and stuff. That's where they went. Did their gambling and drinking.
Winters, as he realizes that the Gazette is overpowering him, decides, I'm gonna go to a bridge with a bottle of looks like Schlitz malt liquor or something like that. What does he have?
It's the good shit.
He's like, I can't afford to pay you, but I have the good shit to drink. And
it's 100% the good shit.
Might be why I ain't get no money.
He's an alcoholic like Triv, right?
Absolutely. You know full well I'm an alcoholic.
I know. That's why we like you, Triv. We're trying to save you. Trying to save you.
From what?
I don't know. Being an
From a good
alcoholic.
time.
That's why we have you on the podcast, because we're trying to save you from a good time, you know. No,
yeah.
But the introduction to Smith is like the introduction to Clarence from the It's a Wonderful Life, and he has the broken stogie, and he's like, "Come with me if you want to live," and he's like, "Come on, Rocky."
What's
Do
the
it, Rocky.
deal with the twisted up smoking apparatuses in this thing? I mean, like the
could be, like,
Winter in the beginning,
crooked
he
like
gets that
him or
cigarette
something.
that's like pointing upwards.
I think that's just
Give
supposed
it-
to reinforce the nature of his soul or his
Yeah,
reason
his
for being there.
situation, yeah.
Like
But
it's
then,
not exactly subtle, but it's supposed to be kind of a subtle nod to what's coming.
Burgess Meredith has got that crooked Gandalf's cane looking thing sticking out of his mouth.
Basically, yeah.
Right. He's taking the hobbits to Isengard, you know.
Taking the hobbits to Isengard.
But no, I mean, his introduction is Burgess Meredith, his last episode. This is unfortunately his last episode he ever appeared in. He's like, fuck this shit, I'm going home.
No more Twilight Zone for me.
Well, he did the voice, like the Rod Serling narrations for the 80s Twilight Zone.
He did. Did he do the movie too?
I think so.
Wait.
Parts of it, at least.
Was that him?
Yeah, I think he was the narrator for the movie, I believe. If I remember right. Or maybe he
I'm not
wasn't.
Sure. I know he was I may be getting the show confused with him. Maybe that was him in the movie. I can't remember.
You know what he was doing at the end of this episode? He was walking away going, yeah, it was narrated by Burgess Meredith.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, movie. So it's technically not his last time in the Twilight Zone, but his last time on the original series.
Good. You don't want to have too much BM.
I mean, Triv, aren't you sad? He could have been like the Bewitching Pool or Black Leather Jackets or
that's okay.
That's the new Jizzy Bells.
What, Black Leather Jackets or
The Bewitching Pool. I hear a lot about that one too.
Well, it's the
When I
last
say I hear a lot
episode, and it
about
was
that
a
one,
shit.
I mean
It
from
was
you
a
guys.
shit one for everything to end on. We'll put it that way.
Oh, is that that's the final one in season 5, right?
Yeah, that's the tail end. That's the very last episode of the Twilight of the 60s Twilight Zone.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh no.
It doesn't exactly go out with a bang. Well, more like a whimper.
It goes down with
whimper.
it goes out with a splash.
Goes out with a wet fart.
Although not that it's actually a Twilight Zone episode, but Dan and I have talked about this. A Carol for Another Christmas. It was a longer form piece that was done at the end of the 60s. Or no, sorry,
That's Rod Serling's Christmas
shortly
special, right?
Right. It was shortly coming off of this Twilight Zone. I think it was Christmas of 63 or 64. But it really truly feels like if that had been a Twilight Zone episode, it would have made a lot of sense. It's too long to be a Zone episode, but it would in theory work. And it would have been a hell of a lot better ending than this PO or than the Bewitching Pool.
When did the Night Gallery come out? Was that the 70s?
I think so. He had the sideburns at that point.
Yeah, because wasn't Night Gallery his like try to conclude?
Night Gallery was 69.
Yeah, it's 69, dude.
It went 3 seasons, so it ended. No, I'm sorry.
71. Dude.
Began December 16th, 1970 to May of 73.
Not 69.
Well, it says 69, but I
Bogus.
don't know. First episode was November of 69.
69.
But then maybe it was like a movie, like you know how they did the TV pilot at movies back then.
Yeah, in case it wasn't like it didn't get picked up, they just said, "Oh, it's just a movie."
Yeah, exactly. Oh, so the pilot was a TV anthology film.
One of the episodes had Richard Kiley in it. Spared no expense.
Yeah, there you go.
He spared no
You
expense.
know
for
that
this
reference?
episode.
Yeah, it's Jurassic Park. Duh.
Oh, I don't know. Some people don't know. Trev, talk about this episode for me. So, people do things. People say things. People destroy things. It's the Twilight Zone, people. No,
It's really a pretty
yeah.
basic
So,
episode.
what's
Yeah.
that?
It's a pretty simple episode. I just think that
It is, but I think the
it did a
premise is very
really
high
good
concept.
job of piecing it all out to us. Its pace was really good. Like you mentioned earlier, it didn't feel like a 50-minute episode. Like it didn't feel like it felt longer than 24 minutes, but it didn't, like when I looked and it was coming up to the end, there was probably about 5 to 8 minutes left. I was like, oh wow, I feel like we just kind of crossed the 30-minute mark. So if it moves at a nice little clip, it never slows down, it never like gets bogged down, and it stays entertaining the whole time. So it had
Oh, it
really good
absolutely
pacing,
does.
even though it's pretty simple. And I don't know about you guys. I was not surprised by the ending. I mean, it's more or less. I mean, I knew that it would either go that he was gonna, it was gonna go bad or it was gonna go good, but I knew what was going on the whole time.
Right.
just
And
thought
I
it
don't
was-
think it was. I don't think it was trying to hide what it was.
No.
Generally, I found the ending to be like like you say, it could have gone one of a couple ways, but I like the fact that he used what he knew to take him down properly, like using his own means against him with the actual printer or the big typeset or type. What is that? A type. The thing that prints the newspapers. A type.
That thing.
Type.
Linotype.
Yeah,
Linotape.
No,
Yeah.
that's not it. No, that's
it was like
that's
a
the guy
linotype, something. I don't
Yeah,
know.
it was a big the big
Big printing press.
printing apparatus.
Yeah.
Yeah, printing press. Yeah, thank you. That took longer than needed, but the fact that he took him down with the thing that he used to kind of make all this shit come through.
I got
some of
questions
the-
on that though when we get there.
Well, and that's the thing too. There was one of the main criticisms I saw about it in the reviews was the fact that how could the devil not see that coming of all the stuff?
Well,
Like, the story
Trev,
was-
the real question is he actually? He says he's not really the devil. Maybe he's maybe he's something else. I mean, I don't know. There might be there's things in here that clearly may not make him out to be the devil. Maybe
I
like
mean,
a wizard.
I mean, and devil is such a, and I know in the 60s when you said devil, most likely you meant the devil, but there's so many variations you could take on that, a different demon or some kind of entity, or maybe even Doug Winters's or Doug's own like insecurities coming through in human form, or his baser
Maybe.
instincts or whatever.
Right. I mean, yeah, it's possible. It's,
Yeah, exactly. Maybe it was just all a dream.
Right. But Triv's favorite part about this is the fingering fire. She loves the fire finger.
Oh, well, it's so cool. They actually, his finger was literally on fire. Like they had the whole
Yeah,
apparatus set up.
You could see the gel on his hands when he
Yeah,
went
he
like
had a
that.
flame retardant stunt. Let's see.
He has something in his jacket that he could flick with like a lighter,
Trying to
and
find
then
it here.
they numbed his finger so he wouldn't feel the flames, which was kind of
Right.
cool.
Yes, that,
He
that
had
fire
two
gel.
electric. He had two electric wires attached to a battery running up his sleeve and concealed in his fingers. He held his fingers in a can of ice water until they were numb. Then a crew member put a lighter fluid on his fingers. Bringing the wires
Dang.
together created a spark that ignited the fluid so he could light the cigar.
Damn, they're not even protecting him. They because they got like fire gel nowadays. It'll burn before it burns what's under you.
Well,
or
okay,
under
so
it.
on
But
one
this is just
on-
lighter fluid.
well,
They
on
just
one
numbed him so he
side-
couldn't feel it.
right. Well, on one side it said that it was just lighter fluid. Another one says that it was Zell gel, a flame retardant stunt gel performers put on themselves to stop from being injured.
Did they have
So
that then?
depending upon, I guess so. According to and one is from Wikipedia, one is from IMDb. Take whichever how you will. But
Both
either
very
way,
reputable sources.
however they did it, that was his finger on fire.
Jacob, you're forgetting one thing though, sir. You're forgetting one thing. What happened?
He spilled-
Glad
he
somebody
had a
saw it.
hole in his lip.
Yeah. The fuck? That just happened on.
There's gonna be a lot of edits in this episode. Apparently,
You
Jacob's
slopped
slobbering
your
on himself.
dripper.
I mean,
No,
I
this
do
shirt's
that.
one of those,
I've
like-
done that before.
Microfiber
Yeah.
shirts or something. It just wipes right off.
Yeah.
Oh, feels
See,
good.
I have a bit of a shelf, so I do that to myself all the time.
I just went at it sideways, like the little opening was, I guess, a little bit too far. I'll just be looking.
Pinky in the air, pinky in the air. There you go. Good man.
Carry on.
Oh no!
Carry
What I was gonna say is,
on.
Jacob, you're forgetting one thing about this guy. Men were real men back in the '60s, sir. They lit their fingers on fire. They were
Okay.
real men, real men of
I mean, in
Real
fact,
men,
there's some
oh.
BTS where he said he wanted to light his dick on fire, but they're like, we don't have to do that, Burgess. He was like, I'm going to do it anyway. So when he lit
That's
his
right.
fingers on fire, his dick was on fire too. They're like, there's no need for
That's-
this. It's not
that's
gonna be
where
on
you-
screen, Burgess. He said, I don't care. Real men
What-
do this shit, like the dick.
right?
And he did it.
I
and
mean,
he
then why
didn't
do you?
flinch.
How do you think he came
smiled.
up with the wah, wah, wah? Because his dick, he's like, his dick was on fire. He's like, running around
Yeah.
like a Looney Tunes character.
My biscuits is burning. My biscuits is burning.
Great Hornitones, that smokes.
But Jacob, I'll have you read the opening narration. I'll be back.
Of course, absolutely. I've got it right here. I'm not pulling it up.
Hold on,
as
so
we
hold on
speak.
before you do that. I gotta
Oh,
mute my mic.
Okay.
Whoa,
You
we've
told me
got
to-
got mouth action. He's gonna come back and like you still be reading the thing.
He told me to wait, didn't he?
No, he wants you to do it, I think.
Oh, I thought he said wait. Because he
Ugh.
said he would go, and then I was like, okay, here I go. And he said, wait just a minute.
No, he had to mute his mic.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, I'll go ahead and do it then. Got it right here.
Do the thing.
Take away a man's dream, fill him with whiskey and despair, send him to a lonely bridge, let him stand there all by himself, looking down at the black water, and try to imagine the thoughts that are in his mind. You can't. I can't. But there is someone who can, and that someone is seated next to Douglas Winter right now. The car is headed back toward town, but its real destination is the Twilight Zone.
So there's a Danville in the Twilight Zone. That's amazing. There's a
did-
Danville or Danburg.
did.
Is it Danville or Danburg?
I don't know. One of them.
Maybe it's a Danielville.
Is it a goddamn?
Yeah. So what can we say that's going to be really weird and make Nick laugh when he comes back or when he goes to edit?
I don't know.
What is there to talk
You put
about
me on
that
the
would be
spot
weird?
like that.
I could start singing, Henry the Eighth I am, Henry the Eighth I am. That's all I know of that one. Apple bottom jeans, boots with the fur. The whole club was looking at her. She hit the floor. Next thing you know, Shorty got low. Okay. Huh?
So Jacob, that was an awesome awesome opening narration that you read. Clearly, I was here all the whole time, not feeding my cat.
Absolutely.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
Tried really hard.
So yeah. So take away a man's dream, whiskey and despair.
Mhm.
Sounds like a good time. Yeah.
Sounds
yeah,
like a
clearly I
country
was here
music
for all of it.
song.
Mhm.
Right.
Should I have read it in the vein of a country music song?
Nah. Better to keep
Jacob,
it in
I think you
Serling.
should
Put it
repeat it
to a
because
tune.
clearly I was here for it.
Should I put it to a tune?
Yes.
You haven't heard the
Take
when you
away
did
a
the-
man's dream.
Jacob, were
Fill
you
him
here?
with
Have
whiskey
you,
and despair.
Jesus Christ.
Send him to a lonely bridge. Let him stand there all by himself, looking down.
Jacob, I implore you to go listen to your closing narration for Jezebel. I implore you at some point.
Oh, I haven't watched that yet. This is my I for whatever reason I watch our episodes in the car. That's why I watch a lot of YouTube, but and I do it when I take my daughter and pick her up from school because it takes me a while.
She's
to get
supposed to be
there.
driving. Like I
She's
worry.
9.
I should
She'll be 10
No,
in May.
not her. I said, aren't you supposed to be driving instead of watching?
Oh yeah.
videos?
Well, I mean, I was there, so I don't have to watch it all. I've got the phone like set there and like on the little clip thing in the window, so I'll glance over every now and then. But I guess more listening.
You're listening to YouTube.
Listening.
See, Jacob's the reason we
glances.
have so many views on these videos because he goes, "What did he say? I have to go back and rewatch it." Click back.
Well, like, yeah, she's on spring break, so I
Oh,
haven't been watching as much YouTube as and it's hard right now in what I'm editing because I watch it when I work down here editing and stuff.
Watch it while I
But
work.
the editing I'm doing right now, I got to listen a lot, so I haven't watched as much YouTube because it's hard to listen to the YouTube stuff and edit audio. Go figure. So yeah, been YouTube deprived.
so Triv, Mr. Smith goes to Washington or goes to the Courier. He loans him $5,000. What do you think about that?
He didn't ask for enough.
How much did he ask for?
All the souls. He needed all the souls.
Right? Yeah, all the souls for $5,000. Would you sell your soul for $5,000?
No. Would you?
Would
I
you
mean,
sell
it
your
is
soul
just
for
an
a new
appendix, really.
furnace?
I wonder if anybody would
It is.
offer me $5,000 for my soul.
You're probably you're they would go, oh man, I should just go watch Angels with Filthy Souls on Home Alone.
I think I might not be one of those good ones he was talking about that are worth so much.
What were we talking about? Oh yeah, Printer's Devil. But yeah, basically he writes a story and the story comes true and the story goes out within an hour, which is pretty impressive for a newspaper to have all the papers printed and ready to go within an hour of story writing. But we get to see how linotype works, which is pretty cool. I don't know what you guys think about that.
Yeah, what were those
Yeah, it
little
was
metal
really neat.
things? They were
It
like,
was doing word, like it was picking letters as he was typing, and then it puts them into the bits, I think.
okay, gotcha.
Well, do they recycle those letters or do they just like I really not sure how linotype works, to be fairly honest. So
Hang on, let me look it
are
up.
they like
No way it's recycling them. That'd
No, it's a
be
one-time
way too
use. So
expensive.
linotype machine is a line casting machine used in printing, which manufactures and sold by the former linotype company and related companies. It's a hot metal type system that casts lines of metal type for a one-time use.
oh, so it's probably like aluminum or something like that, or
I
something
would
that
imagine.
could be recycled pretty easily or destroyed pretty easily. Because you gotta imagine like it's typing it out, so it's like probably imprinting printer. I guess that makes sense.
Yeah. Looks like
Um,
it's lead, maybe.
is it?
Yeah. Well, because it'd be quite malleable if it was lead.
So what is it like a big like hunk of metal that it's like shaving these off of, or
No, so you have like your individual plates, and then you type your line however many characters, and then you hit the button on the side and that cuts it, I think.
We really have come a long way in how we print stuff and how we type stuff. It's really interesting because like you look at how they did it back in like the 1800s and they would like have to carve it out and like put it on a plate. They would have to stamp it. Here they just like use a typewriter and it just prints it and prints it down. And I can only imagine like what happens if you had to like retype something, like how much of a mess that would be.
Absolutely.
But I mean, yeah, he basically the first story he prints is what was it? God, I just forgot to know what it was. You remember the first story that Smith prints?
the one about
Isn't it like a robbery or something like that?
Yeah, it was like 20 some thousand
stuff?
was stolen from
Those
a
things,
bank.
some
And then the
things happen.
second story was a bigamist. Third story was the Gazette burned.
Yeah, then it was like a
No, third
murder or
story
something
was
like
the
that.
guy. The third story was the guy won the lottery. Fourth story was the Gazette burned.
Right. And I guess I really like the simple fact that Smith is like he's like very serious, but he's also like very kind of outlandish and kind of goofy in a lot of respects, which I kind of appreciate. I like that Burgess Meredith. Like the one thing I can never complain about him is he never not went 100% on his characters. Like we want you to portray this, and he was always good at doing that, which is kind of cool.
He was
Dark.
a one of a kind person that no one was going to be able to play that role as well as he could.
He did bring like this energy and just this wicked likability
Oh yeah.
that because we knew who he was from the get-go. So I don't think they were trying to hide that, but he just had the slyness to him, this slimy slyness that you kind of liked. You knew who he was, but you kind of liked it. He was just very likable and very smooth and confident in everything he did. And I thought that's why one of the reasons I think he really added something to the whole situation. Anybody else? I mean, we've seen other devils or demons and stuff like that in the Twilight Zone before, and some of them were good, some of them were fine. But I think this is, in my opinion, the best representation of the quote unquote devil that we've gotten so far. The one
I mean,
like.
and it's one of those things too. It's like when you get like a villain that's charismatic and very likable, like you hate them because of what they're doing, but they have, like you say, that charm that makes them kind of irascible. I would almost like this, the devil in this and the devil in Escape Clause. You kind of get a similar feel for the two of them.
But then he will. I did like what they did with him. He'll do these things, and you kind of like him. And as it goes along, you know he's the devil. You know he's stealing a guy's soul, but he's just very likable. Can't help that. But then they took it, and like with the woman, he did just some really creepy shit with her. Like started like rubbing her face and stuff. It's like, yeah, you and me finna get to know each other. I'm finna smash that. And it's just like he did some really despicable stuff with her that I thought that was good because that kind of put into perspective for you. Hey, remember who you're dealing with here. Remember
Right.
who this is. And I thought that
I
was
would
pretty
say
good.
I would say too that kind of like he clearly, because he now had Doug's soul, he felt comfortable to kind of do his thing and to go further in that relationship.
Yeah. Which is I'll wait till we get to talking about the end. I got a major question about the end. So
Yes,
Yeah.
it eventually ended. Yes, that's the answer.
damn, okay. I thought it was still going.
But no, I mean, like, I like the fact that Burgess's version of the devil is very convincing and very I don't know what the word is called when you like are able to coerce someone into doing things. Because Winters is like a guy who you think would be smart enough to not want to sign his life over, but like the deal is so good that he can't help himself. And like when he brings out that paper, like I said, I have a question about like how he's able to get out of his deal with the devil, but like, as I said
That's
earlier,
that's
it's
what I got
possible that he's not even the devil that what's that?
so that's what I got questions about too.
Oh, I think you were talking about the devil went down to Georgia. He had a soul
No.
to steal.
He went down
Those
to
are good
Georgia after
questions.
this. That would have been great. I mean, it would have been a little bit early because I think that song came out after this, but it would have been great if when he was talking about where he's going next, he was like, I got to go down to Georgia. Can you drive me to the airport?
Yeah, he's like, I gotta bring he like pulls out a fiddle. He brings it with him.
And
But
that becomes the next printing press.
the devil went down to Georgia printing press.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, most of this episode is just like it shows like it makes you wonder like if Smith is the one pulling the strings of like all these things that are starting to happen, or is it the printing press? He claims it's the printing press that's causing all these quote unquote disasters to happen, but and he talks about how, oh, you can bring back the other guy, but this is my printing press. I've worked on this printing press, and it's interesting to see how he like snakes himself, kind of like the devil and the snake, the Garden of Eden and stuff like that, into this guy's life, and how he's kind of controlling it like a puppet a little bit. And of course, Jackie is not having any of this. And then he says something to Jackie, a la Bill Murray and Scarlett Johansson, and that one movie,
Boston
Boston
Translation.
Translation.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I would say that I think that it's kind of like the devil has his tools, because a lot of times he won't directly impact things. Like he changed up the way that the printing press worked to be able to do all that stuff, so it kind of took on a life of its own. Not that you still needed someone to run it, but it wasn't just the devil doing his thing. And I don't know, that was kind of how I thought that he was undone. Like his stuff was used against him. Like in a lot of fantasy stories, the weapon of the demon has to be used against them. The only thing that can kill them is their own thing.
I mean, that's how Death was defeated by Bill and Ted. They played a bunch
Exactly.
of games
Twister.
and he lost.
Yep.
Yeah, Twister.
You sunk my battleship.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah. Dude, your feet, they stink. Um, but yeah, I mean that's pretty much what he does. And it's funny that, he gets him to sign the contract pretty easily. He's like, well, we can undo all this and you'll go back to that bridge. Which, once again, I'm not the biggest fan of suicide in the Twilight Zone, which I think it's a crutch that the series uses. But I think in the essence of this, the devil uses it to his advantage because he knows that Doug is very much committed to this place that he's worked at for. Isn't this like his career?
Yeah.
And he like
It's his
so. I mean, I
dream.
understand where he's but I mean, the whole idea of like the burning down of the Gazette and the guy who runs the Gazette, like we're gonna get you and we're gonna come back at you, and of course he accuses the Smith of causing all these problems, and he's like, nope, you wanted all this, you got what you deserved, or not deserved, but you're getting what you want. You're now the head of like the big cheese. And I mean, what do you guys think about all that?
I mean, to some extent, I think that it is a case of, be careful what you wish for. Like, it's you get all this stuff, but nothing is free. If you're going to get whatever the thing is, you're going to pay the piper, and the what you pay is probably going to be more than what you expected, or something different than you anticipated.
Let me ask you this: did you think that, like at the end of this episode, not if you had known what was going to happen, do you think it would have gone like his soul would have been taken and he would have disappeared, or like I mean, or he would have been stuck
Said he
doing
couldn't
this
take it
for
while he
the
was
whole?
alive. Said he couldn't take it while he was alive. He'd have to be dead.
Which is interesting with the whole. He brings out the gun, which I found kind of interesting.
Yeah,
He wanted to
he
kill
left it.
himself.
Yeah, exactly. It's like his girl is dead, going to be dead sooner. He caused her death inadvertently, so he's going down too.
But I kind of enjoy the fact that like once it's set in ink, that it's forever, that you can't change it. Though at least that's what Smith says. He's like, "Oh, here I'm gonna type it." I like how he types too. He's like, smile with a cigar or cigarette hanging out of his mouth, and
He's a man that
it's
clearly enjoys the job.
exactly.
My question
But
is when they finally not reverse it, but like you said, he beats him with his own machine and writes him off the show or whatever. Isn't his soul still like the devil's when he dies? Isn't he still essentially going to hell?
The way they describe it, no, but I'm not sure. Like, I don't remember the contract if they said anything about like doing a selfless deed. Because oftentimes when like when you're talking about saving your own soul, you give it up for somebody else. So you try to do something that like a selfless act of some sort. So I don't know how you would classify this, just given everything, but I would assume that taking the like sending the devil away would kind of cancel out everything, but I don't know.
do you think that maybe a little bit of the problem with the episode is like they were kind of taking liberties on the story itself near the end? So it says in the Wikipedia page that Smith uses a variation of doublethink, which is a Orwellian coined term from George Orwell. It basically means is a process of indoctrination in which subjects are expected to simultaneous. Jesus Christ, Trev, help me out here. Yeah, thank
Simultaneously.
you. Accept two conflicting beliefs as truth, often at odds with their own memory or sense of reality. Doublethink is related to, but differs from hypocrisy, and it was used in 1984.
I could see that. That makes actually a lot of sense. It's like you see this thing going on and you know that it's not right, but you allow it to go on because ultimately it does right by
It's
you.
just too, and it's that, and it's just too big. It's like no way that's real.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
absolutely.
it's in reference to the whole contract thing where it says Smith arguing that while he believes himself to be the devil, he is clearly mad. And to a sane, sophisticated man like Doug, things like souls and the devil clearly do not exist. So it's basically like, isn't it like reverse psychology a little bit? Like, yeah, I could be the devil, but I'm really not the devil. It's like, yeah, you have a point. Where's the
But I
contract?
could be, but I might be. I am.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Do you use reverse psychology on your kids, Jacob?
No fear mongering.
Also good.
I will beat you. We believe in corporal punishment.
Take away all their french fries. But as things move along, Doug tells them to stop. And then, of course, Smith says something into Jackie's ear, which pisses her off, and he smacks her, or she smacks him. Not her.
What do you think
It's
he
not the other
said?
way around. What's that?
What do you think he said?
You liking the dick.
You want this dick?
You guys are kind of weird, eh?
Come get this dick. This devil dick. Double D.
He was
It's
telling her the
D-Day,
whole
baby.
He was
You know
telling her
what
the
the
whole
D
story
stands
of
for?
Pink
Dick.
Flamingos.
Lord.
The Three Amigos?
No, Pink Flamingos.
Airplane.
Oh yeah, you're right.
That's little balls.
Right. But Mr. Smith gets Dio, ties him to a chair, and makes him write that Jackie is going to be in an auto accident and she's gonna be gravely injured. And I don't necessarily like the fact that she's gonna be gravely injured, but I like this idea that once he writes it, it's set in stone. There's nothing he can do about it. He's like, hey, I wrote it. There's nothing. It does it. It does its thing. And it's really interesting because he also, like I said, pulls out the gun. And yeah, Dog shoots it at Winters shoots it
Like immediately.
at
Stu wasn't
Yeah.
even talking. He's like, here's a gun. Pow, pow, pow. Damn. No build up.
Yeah,
You
he
didn't
was
Relax.
like, "You got 3
contemplate that.
bullets
You
left."
just said intrusive thoughts. You let him go.
Absolutely.
What if I was just a real person? You just murdered the shit out of me.
I don't think he cared at that point.
I just like how Smith is like, he's like, why did you do this to her? She made me angry. She smacked me. That bitch. It's like, what? Oh, okay.
Bitch is finna bitch.
But
And,
then he said that it wasn't the reason that he did it.
The reason he did it was he wanted to entice him to kill himself because he ultimately told him, it doesn't yet say that she dies from her injuries, so maybe she could live
Right.
if you don't. I'm tired of this place. I got shit to do, places to go. I don't want to wait on you. So go
Places
ahead
to
and take
be,
yourself
people
out.
to do.
Yeah. Take yourself
Exactly.
out. And I
I
love
got
you.
it down to Georgia. I got souls to feed. But I mean, this episode is like, it's already dark as it is, but this episode gets like really dark. He's like pulling out a gun. He actually picks up the gun when he decides he's going to drive Jackie to her gravely injured location. I mean, like, I wonder when Charles Beaumont and Rod Serling are like working out this episode, and Burgess Meredith comes on. And he's like, "I do what?" He's like, and he like, okay. They're like, "Well, we have this crooked cigar." I'm like, "Okay, let's do it." Man, I don't know. It's a really crazy episode. I mean, it's really dark. It goes really dark and really kind of places that Twilight Zone sometimes doesn't go.
That's why I like it. I think it does for all the stuff it does kind of like go to those places, but in kind of a subtle way. Like
Yeah,
it's not
like dark and
not in your
tone.
face. Yeah.
It's got some dark content, not content, what am I saying? Themes, but it still manages to keep it somewhat light, where it's like right under the surface.
It is weirdly,
Well, yeah.
and again, I think the fact that Burgess Meredith is so damn jovial as the
Yeah.
devil, like it's like, oh, well, I just killed all these people in this, fire, but no biggie. He sold a whole bunch of papers, so
Yeah.
yay.
Well, yeah, it's like, hey, what, like, husband killed his wife. He's like typing jovially and stuff like that. Kind of like how a guy plays the piano or something. But it's crazy how it handles the tones, because it could be super serious, super dark, but it said it still has that like air of like fantastical to it, which is really interesting. And like even to the end when no music is playing, Doug comes in there to the linotype and he starts typing. And you just see like Burgess Meredith like on probably a sound stage, just like driving like a crazy. He's like going like this, and cars moving back and forth and shit. And it's just as Doug's writing and typing, and like the closer and closer it gets to 11:30, when she gets in the accident, she'd be gravely injured and stuff like that. It's a really interesting kind of tone, like consistency that a lot of the episodes sometimes don't do.
I would say too the fact that, do you guys think it was a dare? I mean, and I don't even know where I'm trying to go with this, but the devil or Burgess Meredith kind of challenges Doug to change the fate of things. On the idea that maybe he was like a maybe more trickster than demon. He was kind of
It's
going,
possible.
well, here are your options,
Throw
and
some
then he's
balls,
outsmarted
basically.
in that respect. Yeah, exactly. I don't know
Well,
how
that's why I
much there
said,
is
like,
to that, but
Well, no, that's why I said maybe he's not the devil. Maybe he is a devil-like character that pushes people to their extremes to get some kind of get them to man up and do better, because at the end of the story, he's like, we're taking on the Gazette like fucking Les Miserables or some shit, and it's just like,
But then you think about all the people that died to get in there. Like, you had people's lives ruined and, buildings burned down and all the rest. And that's gotta,
Oh.
reflect something. And what
Couple
did
fell
those
in the lake.
people do? Yeah.
And sometimes you got to break a few eggs, Trev.
To make an omelet.
Oh, just a couple. Yeah.
Like the Joker said.
Bodies in a
Vicky
row.
Vale's apartment.
Yeah.
Right.
You want to get nuts?
You want?
Let's get nuts.
Get nuts. Come
You know,
on.
I just
Have you ever
watched
danced with the devil in the pale moonlight?
That too.
what? I just watched that movie just like a few days ago. The movie's super weird. I do question like what were we watching as kids? Like the darkness of stuff, like Batman and Terminator and
Dark.
I did a thing.
RoboCop.
I did a thing on Looney Tunes on a podcast thing, and we were talking about like some of the shit that went down in some of those old cartoons. Like, yeah, the 80s had a lot of dark shit, but you go back to like the 30s and 40s, some of that shit was like there's one Tom and Jerry one where Tom goes to heaven and there's like a bunch of kittens that had been tossed into the water and had died and they were in heaven.
Like you do.
Oh yeah, I've seen that. Yeah. That
And it's
shit's
like,
crazy.
damn, that's dark.
Right. But he's able to save Jackie. She crashes and she's in the passenger seat and Smith's gone. He's destroyed by Neo and he's like, we're getting rid of this linotype because we don't want any more of Mr. Smith.
But he
We don't want any
signed
more
the
Burgess
contract.
Meredith.
He did, yeah.
So one would think that whenever he does eventually inevitably die, he is going to hell. So the
Again,
devil
I'm
But when
not
you
sure.
go
Yeah.
when you go and become the Penguin, Jacob, you're null and void. Is that how that works?
I mean, you could take it a couple of ways. That was like in the reviews, like it was kind of the thing that was kind of repeated was again the plot aspects. It was the fact that the movie didn't play by its own rules and that like the rules themselves were kind of up for debate as to exactly what they were. Because they don't ever really describe kind of the ins and outs of what the rules of this guy are. You think devil, okay, they're going to be these basic things, but you're
He
right.
never said he
like,
was the devil, by the way.
no. So
I mean-
that's kind of where it could
Well,
be
that's
left
a whole
up
double
to.
thing. Like he says, I may be the devil, but am I really the devil?
Do you
What are you saying,
believe
Trev?
that?
I mean, looking at it from an like I've never thought about it like this, but just because, as we always say, when you look at something from a critical perspective, your views on it can alter. But I would almost say he's more trickster than anything.
But he does have an ultimate. I think tricksters usually just like chaos. He ultimately has a end goal of something he wants.
Well, he says
Maybe
that,
he's
but then
Loki.
I mean, his ultimate goal, maybe by doing that is causing chaos, and for this one guy that just happens to have a really good soul or something. I don't know, and I don't think that was certainly what Serling was going for by any stretch, but I think you could interpret it accordingly. But that
as we
doesn't.
know,
If you look at it from a very basic perspective, as probably the bottom line is the best way to look at a Twilight Zone episode. It is definitely a plot hole that he signed the contract. What got his ass out of the contract? Was it doing a good deed? Was it like overcoming, outsmarting the devil? Because you
was
always
it
hear
like
about that, the outsmarting of the
Bedazzled,
devil.
where he like sacrificed himself or something or whatever it was.
Yeah.
That got him out of the deal.
that was Monkey Bone, sir. It was Monkey Bone.
It was Bedazzled too.
Yeah.
I know. Well, no, I was going to ask you, is this what happened to the devil and the Howling Man? He just went off to make a printing press,
Absolutely.
or was
Duh.
confined to the little stick.
That's why he's got the crooked cigar, because he doesn't want to think about a shepherd's crook.
You know,
That is his shepherd's crook.
we've like been bouncing around on this episode because we haven't had like a ton to talk about it, honestly. Because there's not a ton to talk about with this episode. I mean, we talk about performances, we talk about Burgess Meredith. As far as like the story and like the ins and outs and what it really all means, it's pretty basic, like I said earlier. But I still, even though like we've had other episodes recently, even that left us with more to talk about, I kind of liked this episode more. It was just a really well done, entertaining episode.
It is
I
fun.
thought
It's
it's a really good episode.
agreed. It's
simple.
I
It's good.
That's
dare
why I
say
say
this
it's
might
probably
be. I dare say this might be not as good as Death Ship, but up there with the Miniature. Is one of the
Yeah.
best episodes of the season.
That's what I'm
I mean,
talking about.
this
Like
is-
Miniature had a lot to talk about, like so much stuff to get into, and what was really going on and lots of conversations that started. This one's not going to start as many conversations. Let's say there's none to be had, but it's not going to start nearly as many as something like Miniature. But I just at just a base level enjoyment of the episode, I enjoyed this one more. Which I mean, it depends on how we want to rank these things when we get there. We want to rank them
God,
on
Yeah.
their relevance or on our enjoyment of them.
Yeah.
Trev, what has happened to us? We're supposed to
What?
hate the fourth season.
For fuck's
We're
sake.
enjoying the fourth season.
I never
season
said
lovers.
this is my favorite episode of the fourth season as far as I remember. Like of the episodes that I remember being fourth season, this and I said it before, this is like one of my tops because it is. I mean, it's got Burgess Meredith. It's not a morality tale, but it's just entertaining.
I
The
mean,
premise is interesting.
You can kind of look at it as a morality tale of be a stronger willed person, like be somebody who is not, always looking down on his luck. Sometimes things fail. You just gotta, move on. You gotta, as they said, as Walt Disney once said, keep moving forward. And
When you wish
Yeah.
upon a star.
Well, it also,
That's
I
what he
mean,
said
it's
to his
what's most
wife.
important to this guy. He thinks it's his paper. That's the most important thing. It's always been the most important thing. That's his goal. That's his everything. It's his world. But apparently, there's this other thing that's right in front of him that's important. This woman. I think there's a little bit of that as well. And also, I think something else that's important to this guy that is implied, but it never really gets into as much. But I think it is important. Is just being a good person and doing things for the right reason. And I think going down this road with this devil as the reporter and everything, I don't think he likes the what his paper is becoming and the stories and the kind of trash. He feels less like he's reporting, like the one part where he says, "Well, that's," I can't remember what the byline was. It said something, and he was like, "Well, that's not really that big of a deal," or "Why would you add that in?" or whatever he said. He's like, "Because it sells papers."
Exactly.
And I don't
Yeah.
think that's
If
what
it
he wants
leads,
to
it
do.
bleeds.
He wants
Or
to
if it bleeds, it
tell the
leads.
truth. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like
And
any tabloid or anything else. So
the only thing I wish they would done a little bit better is you see them selling the papers, but you never really get a sense that they're really more successful without them saying it.
Subscriptions.
So if like they had like what's that?
They got a shit ton of subscriptions. I think that's where most of their papers their money comes from.
yeah.
Because she was like,
Oh.
we just this week or month or whatever, we got 1,500 subscriptions. So I imagine that's a lot more than they had before.
No, I know, but it just seems like that they talk about it. They don't actually how you have to show, not talk about growing, that type of thing.
Well, you see
Maybe
her
a shower,
walk in
not a
with
grower.
all of the subscriptions. You see the guys like surrounded by, absolutely bombarded by all the people that want papers at the one point.
Yeah. They
Yeah, I
don't
guess that's true.
tell or show how it happened, but they just show that it did happen.
Yeah. And we really don't get a sense of time per se, but you definitely know that time has passed.
Because it was like a montage.
Yep. I do love me a good montage.
Montage. Everything goes well in a montage. But like once again, Smith is gone. Contract apparently voided, null and void. And
Maybe.
yeah, until the sequel, whenever that happens.
Yeah.
They're gonna bring back Burgess Meredith from the dead. They're gonna make him an AI figure. So
Well, like I
yeah.
say, there was the Tales from the Dark Side episode that was the Printer's Devil, but it deals with a publisher, like a book publisher. So
Interesting. I wonder if it's not Charles Beaumont's story, is it?
it didn't look like it, and it didn't seem like it was based off of that. But I mean, it deals. I mean, it's called the Printer Devil, so it's going to deal with something based in either books or magazines and stuff. So
What season was it?
I think it was 86, whatever season that is. If you just type in the Printer Devil and Tales from the Dark Side.
Interesting. I've never watched Tales from the Dark Side. I wonder if it's any good.
That's the movie.
I enjoyed what I watched of it. I really
the movie's
enjoyed.
amazing. Right. Wasn't that a Stephen King story, or he produced it?
That's Tales from the That's maybe.
Yeah, I think it was-
I think that's more. Isn't that more George Romero or a combination of them?
Tales from the Dark Side, I don't think was Stephen King. I don't know if he had something to do with the movie or not, but he was not like the original writer. Creepshow was.
Oh yeah.
Right,
George
right.
A.
Creepshow
Romero
is what I was
created it.
thinking of.
Well, no, I thought he like produced the movie or something like that. Anyways, yeah. Oh no, a couple of his stories were based off of or were in the Tales from the Dark Side, because it's George Romero and Stephen King were good friends. So Anyways, so he gets rid of the linotype and everything's hunky dory. He has his girlfriend. He's gonna take on the Gazette like a real person, and that's it. What do you guys think?
I like I said, I enjoy this and being able to watch it from a critical perspective. My enjoyment is probably gotten a little bit more. Obviously without Burgess Meredith, this would not have been what it was. You do have solid performances from all involved, but I mean, obviously he outshines everybody just because of who he is. Like that's just he is good at what he does. He does it with a twinkle in his eye, and what else is there to say?
He absolutely made, like I said earlier in the show, and I still feel the same way. I think this would have been a fine episode, entertaining enough, good time, whatever, but more or less forgettable. But you had him in there, and what he brought something to that role, like a lot, and that was like a big part of the story. And I think or not the story of the episode, and he really added something to it. Like that was he was great in that. I really love to hate to love this character.
Right.
The one
It's
thing
kinda
you can
funny.
say is he is no Remo Williams.
Absolutely not. But he tries.
Yes.
He's no Dalton either. He tries, but he just can't rip the throats out. Just
Fair.
can't do it. So leading off with that, it's interesting to see the characters Burgess Meredith played because he always played sympathetic characters in a lot of respects, and here he's playing an unsympathetic character. But you look at like Time Enough at Last. You look at The Obsolete Man, whatever, the Mr. Dingle the Strong. Did you do anything else?
That was it. It's just a 4
Okay.
episodes.
And I mean, how would you, if you guys could rank like his characters, how would you do it? Because like they're all interesting characters, even though Mr. Dingle the Strong isn't great. There is an interesting comedic aspect to it, but I mean, what would you rank his like characters?
I would go this Obsolete Man, Mr. Dingle, and then Time Enough at Last. And I know that that's a bit controversial, but Time Enough at Last, like his character is interesting, but I don't think it's of the 4, it would be the one I would rewatch the least.
Right?
think
Isn't
I'm
it
there, too.
amazing that episode is so beloved, but yet we find it not that great?
Well, I mean, it's first season. It hits
think
you
the
where you
ending-
live.
I think
Yeah.
the ending is what people. It's kind of like that one episode I like, Third from the Sun. I think it's just you remember the experience of the ending, because the experience of the ending of both of those was like, oh wow, bah. But if you really get to thinking about it, the rest of the episode was just kind of. But that one ending really made it for you,
Yeah.
And I think that's what with Time Enough at Last. That's what it was. Its ending little deal was the hell of a twist.
Yeah, I think I would switch. I agree. I think I would switch Obsolete Man with this one. I mean, I would put Obsolete
Fair.
Man first, and then this one. This is just my preference, but
How dare you?
I know. Fuck you,
I think
Nick.
I like
Fuck you.
Triv's lineup. I think that's what I'm going with. This one, Obsolete Man, Dingle, and then the Last Man on Earth thing, whatever it was.
Time Enough at Last.
Yeah, Time Enough at Last.
Should call it the
All
last
good
man on Earth.
episodes.
Yeah, 100%.
I know the Dingle
So-
part is probably Mr. Dingle is Strong is probably a bit controversial, but that's just kind of a goofy, nice palate cleanser.
It's just kind of fun.
Yeah, I mean it's fine. You got titty aliens. It's all good. It's still good. But yeah, I mean it's a fun episode. This episode, it's a dark episode. It balances it really well. And I am shocked that I continue to be surprised by what I thought was going to be a terrible season. So I give it that. I give it that indeed.
Ha ha
I feel
ha ha
bad.
ha ha.
That Triv ruined my chances of winning the like this season.
I know. I'm
Terrible.
sorry. I
Yeah,
do
it's
that
all right.
early and often.
That's what she said. Do it
Yep.
early and often.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, the often part is very expensive or very important.
Yeah.
All right, Jacob, do the closing narration. I know you want to do it like a man,
Oh,
like
already
a printer's devil. Double think
Okay.
us
Sing it in the form of a country song.
Yes.
if you want.
I don't know if I can sing this as a country song. Not that I really know anything about country music.
how about Gilligan's Island?
I'll give it
The
a
theme
shot
from
with
that.
the country. Exit the infernal machine. No, that just doesn't work. Doesn't work. Exit
the infernal machine, my friends. Da, 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 da.
Yeah, Exit the infernal machine, my friends, and with his satanic majesty, Lucifer, Prince of Darkness, otherwise known as Mr. Smith. He's gone, but not for good. That would be like him. He's gone for bad. He might be back with another ticket to the Twilight Zone.
The Twilight Zone.
I tried.
I like it.
Let me give you another take.
Lucifer and the Prince of Darkness and
Exit
Mr.
the
Smith.
infernal machine. And with its satanic majesty, Lucifer, Prince of Darkness, otherwise known as Mr. Smith. He's gone, but not for good. That wouldn't be like him. He's gone for bad. And he might be back with another ticket to the Twilight Zone.
Ooh.
See, I give you options.
There you go. Options are good. Do you guys want to know where this sat with IMDb and Paste?
Sure.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
All right. So the gap between these is surprising given everything. Paste put it in at 111, and they talked about how great Burgess Meredith was, but ultimately like the story fell down because it left a lot of plot holes in that person's opinion. IMDb gave it had it at 40.
So IMDb had it at 40 and Pace said where?
111.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, I know, right?
Pace Magazine
mean-
don't like nothing.
They don't like that specifically. But like all of the reviews on IMDb by and large, there was a couple of, I think there was like 25 reviews, there was a couple 6s, but everything else was 7, 8s, or 9s. So, and I think a lot of the strength of that was, as we've talked about, a lot of Burgess Meredith and kind of the way that the story laid out. So, and the downfall, like I said before, was more the kind of the way that it ended, kind of those plot holes. So,
I mean, it's all right for Pace Magazine to be wrong. We get it.
hey, last week or the week before they were right. So,
Well, sometimes clock is right twice a day or whatever.
Even a broken
a
clock.
broke clock is right. Yeah, exactly.
Hey, don't mess up my messed up memes. God damn it.
Sure.
Sons of bitches.
You'll thank us when you go back to edit.
Yeah, I'm already going. I don't remember any of this.
Yay!
Anyways, with that said, there you go. That's season 4, episode 9, which is Printer's Devil. We're halfway through the season. Pretty crazy. Usually it takes us like 1,200 episodes to get halfway through the season, or me moving twice a year to get through the halfway through the season. So
Hell of a thing.
yeah, I know, right?
Yep.
Anyways, with that said, let's go ahead and head to the last segment of this podcast, which of course is the Twilight Zone ranking list, the Devil's favorite playthings of list, and Rod Serling's favorite list of all time. So we said this is better than miniature, which might not make Alex happy, which would make this either above 16, below 13. Where do we want to put this? I don't think this is as good as like the Silence. We're not putting it at number 3.
Number 3.
No.
Why
I
not?
refuse.
Why not?
Because I refuse. Because
Well,
I said
shit. Damn it.
so. Is this better than Dummy? The Dummy or Game of Pool?
I don't see dummy.
34.
Oh.
33, 34.
Hold on.
I think that this one deserves to be up quite a lot higher, but that's me.
Yeah, I do too.
Was
but
it?
yes,
Is it
better
better
than
than 5
Dummy.
characters in search of a trash can?
Ooh, man, that's a favorite.
It's funny how you get stuck at a place like 5 characters in search of a trash can is really good, but then It's a Good Life is kind of weird.
Well, we are weird, Ace. I know a good place to put this, Trev.
No,
You
we're not
wanna hear?
putting it. We're not putting it below Perchance to Dream.
Yes, we are.
Why would
No,
you?
no, no, no,
Yeah,
no,
we're
no.
putting
I mean,
below.
okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
number
No,
36.
no, like
I get what
yeah,
you're saying.
yeah.
Number 36. You're right. I agree.
No, you son of a bitch.
Exactly.
I don't know. I mean,
Well, where were
in
you?
all honesty,
Where were you thinking, Nick?
I would put this between a Game of Pool and the Silence, somewhere around there, maybe.
What is the
I
silence?
mean, I
at
know that's
work?
like a wide berth, but that's where I kind of
24?
would put it.
What was the silence? Like, what was the number on that?
24.
Oh, okay.
I mean, if you can convince me, you can always try to convince me that it go higher. I don't know. Like
I
said,
could
it's
start
all
crying, and that would to make you change your tune.
Trev, you can cry all you want. We're not putting it at number 3.
Damn it! How about number 4?
I mean, we could put it at number 112.
Honestly, I would put this right around miniature. Like I'm with Jake. I prefer this to miniature, but I don't know. Like, I know we
Well, I
get
mean, do
caught
you
up on
think
messages and
this
shit.
episode is more important than miniature? Or
No,
do you think
I
it's
think it's more. I think I enjoy this episode, but like I said, this is probably like this is my favorite episode of season 4. So for me, like I would probably put this, above or right around, if not above Death Ship.
really? So you want to go
Yes.
that high, huh?
That would be my place for it, but I don't think it deserves to go lower than 20. That's my personal opinion, though. Like, I know the
What
ending
about
gets a
you?
little bit wonky, but yeah.
What
You mean
about you, Red
lower,
Devil?
higher?
I would say between 13 and 20 would be
Okay.
my thoughts.
What
So
about you,
between
Red
this,
Navel?
with real emotion, stand-up trade-ins, miniature, nightmare as a child. It's a good life. 5 characters. I do particularly like I feel like 5 characters in Search of Exit is quintessential Twilight Zone.
Very much.
It is like the most traditional Twilight Zone episode you'll ever get. But anyway, moving past that.
You guys do realize you guys made that lower than me. I actually wanted that higher.
Well, we were
That's all on you
idiots.
guys.
We've
I did?
learned.
I don't think I did that.
So it's my fault? Damn it. Always
And
my
Alex,
fault.
Alex, she totally did it. It's all her fault. 'Cause she's
Oh,
here.
100%. She's coming back for multiple episodes.
Yeah, but she won't be back for this episode.
True. But she will probably be back for next episode.
She can't speak on this one, so
I mean, she could when she comes back next episode.
doesn't count at that point. As I've proven, I talked about the chance to dream a whole lot. It don't even count. It's wasted breath.
Fair.
Yeah, I'm cool with that. Between 13 and 20, like miniature
Oh,
comes
by the
to
way,
mind 'cause it was
Alex,
the
if you're
last one.
listening, I don't agree to any of this. I'm just sitting here
Of course not.
listening to
You
this
also,
blasphemy.
it was also me that made you hate season 4. So,
I
This is
of
all
course look at
blasphemy.
miniature because it's the last episode we did, and it is another episode in this season. And I'm like, like I said earlier, miniature specifically, a whole lot more to talk about. Lots more conversations, meaningful conversations started. But I just really enjoyed this episode. It's simple, nothing really tricky about it.
So you like this episode better than A World of His Own?
Better than
Or The
what? A
Grave?
World of His Own? World of His Own is season final, first season.
yes, with the elephant.
I don't know. They're right around that same area. I did enjoy A World of His Own, but honestly, man, this was just a really enjoyable episode, and all because of Burgess Meredith.
Oh, yeah. Well, here's the thing, we know our list is pretty janky. There's no doubt about that.
I mean, it's
But
only got one piece of jank on it for me, but
but no, like I mean, for the lot of us, we can sit here and say, oh, well, this should be higher, that should be lower, blah blah blah. But cards fall where they will as they go, and week by week and all the rest. So
Yeah, I warned you guys, like, as we get closer to the end of the series, this list is going to become more and more difficult.
Oh, well, of course it is.
To navigate.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if we were doing like The Simpsons or something like that, like 600 episodes?
No, I couldn't do that.
Or something of that nature, like, that's still going, like Skins, or what's that other show that all the British people do?
Coronation Street?
There we go. You imagine doing Coronation Street, or like
no, that other show they do. What's that other nighttime soap? I hadn't said it to be able to tell you. It's like it's huge.
EastEnders.
Yeah, EastEnders.
Oh yeah. There's like
That's
8,000 episodes of each show. Can you imagine doing that? I don't know. I mean, we're looking at like the trade-ins, miniature, Nightmare as a Child. It's
all
a
right.
Good
Well,
Life.
here's kind of a side question, and I know this was last week, but I am curious. Comparing miniature to like A World of His Own, how would you compare those two? Just generally.
Miniature, I think actually the ending is a little bit better than this episode. I think this episode, once again, like I said earlier, it struggles at the end to kind of like clean it. It's not very
kind of
clean.
enjoyability.
It is, but I think the ending is much more enjoyable and much more cohesive than the ending to
Impactful.
this. I think the ending to this is fine, but it like you said, there's questions like on the whole
right.
the contract and the how he makes them disappear. It's not saying that I enjoy watching Burgess Meredith disappear in his own kind of petard, but I don't know. I think this episode is a little bit less than that. I'm not taking away from the episode at all. I'm just saying, I would put like I said, if it were me, I put this like, somewhere like World of His Own, 5 characters, somewhere in there.
Right.
That's just
I mean,
me.
I could see putting this below 5 characters in search of an exit.
I'm cool with that.
Like either 18 or 20, whichever one you guys decide you want to put it.
I'm cool with that.
The real problem is like It's a Good Life is above 5 characters, so that's
No,
like
that's the thing. But you gotta. That's
yeah.
always gonna be there. That's not something that we can fix. And there was reasons that got put there when it got put there. So
Yeah. I don't know. You want to put it like underneath 5 characters above A Nick of Time?
I could do that. Yeah.
Works
What do you
for
think of
me.
There, Per Chance to Dream. I mean, you
The
moved
new
Per
number
Chance to
20.
Dream. Yeah, you moved Per Chance to Dream to number 36. So there you go.
Yay! Slowly but surely.
My
Don't call me
plan is
Shirley.
slowly coming into focus.
It's a long game.
Right. So yeah, that'll do it. So new number 20, Printer's Devil. Number 1, still Eye of the Beholder. Number 111, The Trouble with Templeton. The next episode,
And
season
Nick,
4.
Nick,
Hey, Nick.
Nick.
Where's the mute button?
Nick.
Damn it.
Nick.
you forgot one.
Yes, the most important one.
Number 91.
A piano in.
The house.
Where's Mr. Smith and his gun so I can shoot this podcast?
Jacob's still orgasming. He may need another minute. Okay. It's fast.
I think how he has a mic in front of his face, like half his face is disappearing.
Oh God, Trevor!
Oh my god. You guys satiated now because you said
Yes.
that? All right.
Oh God.
So-
Moment.
So the next episode is season 4, episode 10, which is called No Time Like the Past. Directed by Justin Sudeikis, written by Rod Serling. Stars Dana Andrews, Patricia Breslin, Robert F. Simmons, and Michael Attenbury. I don't know this episode at all, so I can't tell you if this episode's good or not.
Look like
By
sci-fi
name,
to
I-
me.
What's
Yeah.
that?
Look like sci-fi
I mean, that's always good.
for me.
Apparently deals with Hiroshima and atomic bomb, so
Oh, really?
it'll be quite the pleasant episode.
That was
I'm
like
telling you
time
what.
travel or something.
It says Paul travels to Hiroshima, so there you go.
Well, he would
Oh,
have
so
to
it sounds
travel
like
back
the
in time
future.
then.
So it's like a
Yeah.
Back to the Future type of thing. But
We're going back to the future.
to the future. Marty, get in my DeLorean.
Why are you at Arnold
Ram it
Schwarzenegger?
up to 88 miles an hour. Actually, Paul Rudd does that joke. It's like, I want you to get to my DeLorean. Travel 88 miles an hour. I think it's in Knocked Up. I think is with he does it with Seth Rogen. It's pretty funny. But anyways, we'll look forward to that next week.
Yarp.
Maybe we'll have Alex on, depending on scheduling.
Yarp.
So we'll also have our whatever that is. Anal.
The anal.
Whoa. He's sniffing his own butt.
What's that coming out of his news?
What's that coming out of her nose? Spaceballs. Oh, shit. There goes the planet.
Oh, Jesus. Anyways, so we'll look forward to that episode. With that said, we're gonna head out. We're gonna end this Printer's Devil of an episode. Triv, Jacob, good as always. Triv, you have content. You put out more content than both of us combined right now. Where's that content at?
You can find my stuff here on YouTube at Trivial Theater. I just put out The Dragon Lives Again, which is a fun collab I did with Morbid Heart Designs. I
Watch that.
personally think it's one of my really, really awesome collabs. Not that they're all not good, but this one was like I really thought it was good, and I feel like it deserves more views. But that's not my control. Coming
I
up
learned
next.
something about Morbid Heart Designs at the end of the video.
Oh yeah, right. Hey, more power to her. I'm happy for her.
Yeah, man.
But coming up next is I'm doing a discussion with Ryan Luis Rodriguez on Society, fantastically weird movie out of the 80s. Make sure to check an eye out for
Nice.
that. By the time this drops, I think it should be out. It may not. It might be a couple days after,
Yeah,
but it'll be right around there.
we don't know what's gonna happen in a week and a half, but you know, it's a week and a half later. But Trev, congratulations on your 5 years of doing YouTube. I know it's been
I don't know what the
couple weeks
hell
now.
else to do, so I'm kind of I'm just doing what I'm doing until it doesn't make sense.
Well, it makes you feel any better. You know, doing 5 years of YouTube is very rare at this point. So a lot of people
Hardly.
don't do it.
Well,
So,
I don't know if I should be, but here I am. So
anyways, congratulations, Trev. You are now
Thanks.
one of us. Google gobble. So,
Yeah, I think I hit
Jacobs.
5 years last year,
yeah, you
I was
and I
gonna say
started, I
you
think,
were-
at the same time.
2018, into
Around the same
2018.
time. Yeah, I started July of 2018, so it was about the same time.
Which I mean, I
So
guess
anyways-
like technically that channel.
But
Whatever.
you're still doing YouTube. It doesn't. The channel is part of the story, but it's certainly not the only thing.
We're all 15 years old as a podcast. So there you go.
Right?
Jacob, you have videos. You've
I
been
do.
teasing us. You've been teasing our cockles with your video. Where's that content
Oh,
at?
well. That content is on YouTube at RetroJakeXY, and I do in fact have a video that is coming soon. By the time this airs, what day is this airing?
The 27th.
I should definitely
hope.
have a trailer out by then. Pretty sure. If the trailer's not out by then, it will be out that week, the week that this airs. Have a trailer put together. I just want to make sure that the date I'm putting on there that I'm going to premiere the video is, accurate. Feel pretty good about it. So yeah, the video is finally coming.
Yay! That's what she said.
I'll put it up and get 100
Finally
views.
coming into our ear holes, in our eyes, in our mouth, in our printer's
Hour-long
devil.
hour-long video. It should be here. And then I have some other smaller videos, not necessarily shorter, but just quicker videos, different videos that I'm going to put up in between. So I have a virtual bevy of
Ooh.
content coming over the course of the next few weeks. So my channel doesn't seem like dead for such a long period of time in between big videos.
It's dead. It has ceased to be.
Trying to spread the love. So I have some stuff in between the big videos. So
You're trying to
stay
spam the
relevant.
love.
Stay relevant, That's what it's all about.
Spam it. Spam. Anyways, I have content. I posted some videos, reviews. I actually did a couple of reviews. I'm still doing Invincible, which is almost over for the second season. So the new episode should premiere tomorrow. So look forward to that, as well as this podcast. Not as much content as I used to do, but I'm trying to do content that I enjoy instead of doing every single movie that comes out in the known universe like I used to do. So there you go.
How's that working for your views?
What's up?
How's that working for your views, by the way?
I mean, it's fine. I don't really follow the views anymore. If I did, I used to like obsess about that, but I don't do that anymore. Sometimes I'll be like, hey, look, our podcast got 250 views. Cool. There's my 30 cents or whatever. But I don't know. Anyways, so that's it. We're out. For myself, Triv, and Jacob. We'll see you guys next time in the Twilight Zone. Peace out, motherfucker.
Bye.
It's Friday, gonna get down on Friday. Da da da, pick me up, da 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 da. It's Friday, gonna
Booty,
get
booty,
down on
booty, 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 booty.
Ass and titties. Ass and
Oh, okay.
titties.